All right. Looks like we are live. What is good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to the stream. I'm actually streaming on Sunday, man. Like, I usually don't, but we missed yesterday, so we're doing today. What's good, guys? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully we have some different people in here, too, that maybe normally can't make it during the week or Saturdays, and maybe you got Sunday off and you want to hang out for a bit. But what's good, guys? Welcome. Shout outs to everybody. What's good? What's good? Big love to Nate E. What up, Nate? Nate Dog with the 49 months. Man, that's crazy. Thank you so much, Mr. Nate E. 45 months in the house, in the hizzy. What's up, man? Thank you so much. What's up, gang? What's up, baby? What's up? I don't know. Is my I don't know why it's not working. Hopefully it pops up soon, but if it doesn't, that's okay. We will get things situated. We'll get things going here. We'll get things going here, boys and girls. Alert box is on. Cloudbot is on. So let me just go ahead and swap that real quick. Make sure that that's activated. All right, yeah, that's active. That's all active. But yeah, I'm not sure why the notification didn't pop up. Oh, whoa, it just switched to inactive out of nowhere. All right, there you go. So thank you so much, Mr. Nate E. Thank you for the 49 months. What is good? Loving Bravely Default. Yeah, Bravely Default's really good. I actually just finished today. I finally finished Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma. Finally finished it, man. Like, gosh, I had been going on that game for like 3 weeks plus. I put 70 hours, and the last probably 20% of the game, I didn't even do side quests. I just kind of went straight through, you know. You actually got the notice this time. Well, what's up, Cyber Taurus? What's good? Let me get into shoutouts though. Let's see here. Dior, the Great Wah, Cyber Taurus. What's up, Cyber Taurus? Johnny with the 4 months. Thank you so much, Johnny with the 4. Shout outs to Nate E with the 49. Cyber Taurus is here in the chat. Brandon Johnson says, "Oh my goodness." Yes, sir. Mada, what's up, Mada? Brandon Johnson says, it is happening. Looks like it's happening. I'll be repeating this multiple times, but yeah, for those who don't know, looks like some sleuths have lined up the boxes, the box arts, with games in the background for the N64. So they think that the N64 is going to be getting some updates with Super Smash Brothers for the N64, Donkey Kong 64, Glover, and like one other Ubisoft game, some game I don't know, Scars or something, I'm not sure. We're going to look at everything here though. David Dampier, what's good? Mada, Pensers, Cyber Taurus, Style Boys, Johnny, Nate E, General Zamora, Elias, Cold K, Ego Maniac, The Great Wah, CBH for God, Style Boys. Let's go. Congrats on finishing. Yes, I'm so happy that I finished up Rune Factory before Donkey Kong Bonanza came out. So I've got a little bit of time to chill. You know, just kind of take a little bit of a break because I've been playing it non-stop, Rune Factory. And then I'll probably get into some Rido. I'll probably get into some Rido Remastered. Probably get into that a little bit. But really, I got my whole plate clear when it comes to Switch 2, ready for the Donkey Kong Bonanza, baby. So that's going to be exciting. 91 Gamer Boy, what's good? Shoutouts. 777, Triple OG, Double OG. Genuine Gesture, what's up, man? Yeah, I don't play college football, so I don't know what you're talking about, CBH. I never even talked about playing college football, the game. So yeah, no. The answer is no. General Zamora, what's up, man? Thank you for the 2 months. What's up, General Zamora? Welcome, man. How are you doing today? My next Switch 2 game is Rune Factory. Nice. Let's go. Gabriel Opagu. What's up, man? Welcome, Gabriel. Welcome to the stream. Big love. Felipe says shout outs to DCG in the house. All right. Sounds good. Party Man Cartwheel. What up, Party Man? What is good, baby? Shout outs, guys. OJ only plays Bleach and Sparking Zero. Bleach, Sparking Zero, college football, Madden, Call of Duty, and maybe Battlefield if I'm feeling a little frisky, you know? If I'm feeling a bit frisky, Battlefield. Yo, what's up, Bead Queen? How you doing today? Bead Queen. What's good? Shoutouts. I was gifted Street Fighter 6, so I've been raging on ranked over the weekend. Oh, man. Nothing like raging over a good fighting game, dude. I used to do that with Super Smash Brothers. The most intense that I've ever gotten with with a fighting game was Smash Brothers on the Wii U. I used to get so intense when I played that game online for glory. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I used to get, or even actually, to be honest, that got me intense, but also Smash Ultimate would get me super tense. I remember one time I was playing Smash Ultimate so much, my hand literally shut down. Like my whole hand I got like a huge cramp that just shot pain through my hand. Oh man, it was crazy. Yo, shout out to DeAndre with the $2.21 first dono of the stream. Yo, we didn't have JoJo Friday, JoJo Sunday. Yo, we out here. Thank you so much. Mr. DeAndre with the 2 says, Raito remastered battle theme. Been playing this game on PS5. Pretty good. Nice, nice. Yes, it is a good game. It is definitely a good game. Raito remastered. Let's get this going here. Battle theme. Thank you so much, Mr. DeAndre with the 221. Let's go. Shoutouts. Online fighting games can get wild. From Mortal Kombat to really anything, be ready. Yeah, absolutely. I played a little bit of Mortal Kombat 9. I used to play a little bit of that online on the Xbox 360 back in the day. Thought it was fun. Thought it was pretty good. I had a lot of fun playing that game. Had a lot of fun playing the game, so yeah. But it just depends, man. I mean, like I said, sometimes you can get into some like pretty crazy matches and then like lag or some stuff like that can piss you off. So there's like all sorts of stuff that can really set you off in a fighting game. Cheap characters, you know, regardless, just can't execute, dropped inputs. Fighting games are like they're definitely not for the weak, you know? Definitely not for the weak. Shout out, thank you so much, Mr. DeAndre. Thank you for the $2. Appreciate that. Let's go. Anybody that's $2.21 or more, you can get my man DeAndre at the board. What's up, Daniel C? Welcome. What is good? Infernal Lycan. What's up, Infernal? Just playing some Mario Kart World with some friends today. Hey, shout out Style Boys playing some Mario Kart World. Let's go. N64 NSO makes too much sense to happen. That is a very, not that it's a very good game. Yeah, it makes sense because Bonanza's coming out. But I think it really depends on who you talk to. Some people love Donkey Kong 64. They think it's fantastic. Some people think it's not very good at all. So it's always opinions, right? No problem, Johnny. Thanks for coming out to today's stream, guys. If you enjoy the stream, make sure you hit that like button. I don't usually stream on Sunday, so the algorithm doesn't have me set up for to notify all my subs that I'm streaming. So make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes ASAP. ASAP Rocky, baby, as soon as possible. So hit that like button, guys. Let's go. Hey, what's up, Jeffrey Tucker? Jeffrey, I tried out the Skull & Co. grips, and I don't like them. Like, I like certain aspects about it. I think that they're light. I think that they are, they're ergonomic. They have it's the fact that they don't have, like, the top isn't, you know, covered up. But they feel cheap and plasticky. Yeah, they feel a bit too plasticky and cheap. They don't feel premium enough on the back of the grip. So I went back to my old grip. You know, I think that everything's good, but the back of the grip feel. I think it's light. It's got, you know, obviously I like the way that the top is. It's got just like a little latch. I like the fact that you can swap them. But yeah, unfortunately, like they should have probably went with a little bit better quality of like material on the back of it, because it just feels like pretty cheap plastic and my hands get super hot just playing that. So I went back to my other grips, or my other grip, which feels a little bit more textured and different and better than what's it called, than the Skull & Co. So yeah, I feel it does feel cheap compared to the Switch OLED grips they made. Yeah, it feels, especially compared to like the Satisfy. So as soon as I decided, I'm like, you know what, these ones aren't doing it for me, I went back to my old one and I went and instantly pre-ordered the Satisfy. So I think I'm just gonna roll with the Satisfy grips. Those are coming in, I think, August or something. So I gotta wait a little bit longer, but But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and roll with those. But yeah, it's not a bad grip. I think definitely it's not a bad grip at all. It's light. It's ergonomic. It's definitely good. You know, it's not bad for per se. You know. Let's see here. I was satisfied at different size grips. Oh, okay. Yeah, because for your hands. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Did you get Street Fighter 6 for Switch 2? I haven't got it yet, but I'll definitely pick it up at some point for sure. I'm definitely going to be picking up Street Fighter 6 at some point. But right now, no, just because I have too many games to play. I have so many games, it's crazy, man. I have I'm like overloaded with games to play. Let's see, new week, new direct hope, let's go. I hope we get a new direct. It's obviously, it could not be this week. We don't know. There could be nothing at all, right? It's just rumors, but rumors say that there is something coming up, so that'll be interesting if it does. Let's see here. I don't know how to say your name, but Ply. What's up, man? Welcome. Film Watcher, what's good? I'm still gonna play Switch 1 games on Switch 2 if I get one. I'm physical copies of full capacity of games. If you Switch, you're still gonna play Switch. Well, yeah, playing Switch 1 games. I don't know if you know how Switch 1 games play on Switch 2, but most of your library of Switch 1 games are going to play significantly better on Switch 2. So, yeah, I would say that if you really like Switch 1 games, there's really no point in waiting. In my opinion, just my own personal opinion, because Switch 1 games play way better on Switch 2. A lot of the games do, so yeah, go ahead and get that Switch 2, man, and play your Switch 1 games. Some of them will feel like a brand new game. Echoes of Wisdom feels brand new. Scarlet and Violet feels brand new. They literally feel like a brand different type of game experience. So, yeah. Let's see here. I'm playing with the Gamester G8. Okay, I'm not sure what that is, Mata. Nintendo needs to give me a direct this week as a birthday gift. Oh man, that'd be a great birthday gift. Beans and toast. I got my Switch. I'm patiently waiting for Donkey Kong Bonanza. Got your Switch too. Okay. Yes, Donkey Kong Bonanza essentially comes out next week. So, if we're already in this, it comes out the 17th. So essentially, that's going to be next week for Donkey Kong Bonanza. Very excited for that. The direct can be before or after. Yo, Shinru with the Ninja Peach.
What's good, ninjas? If you're talking about grips for the Switch 2, I'd recommend these from Amazon. Got these from a recommendation from Austin John Plays. Pretty good and very affordable compared to Satisfy. Grab the case too.
Okay, I'll have to check that out, which one you're talking about. But I mean, I think I'm just gonna wait for my Satisfy grip. I think I'm just, because I love the Satisfy OLED grip. I actually bought two from them. I bought one standard grip, and then I bought the grip for the OLED, and I love that. So I think I'll probably just wait. But for sure, definitely. What's the name of the grip? All right, let's see here. Shout out to my man Shinru. Thank you so much for the $5 dono. You are now the new Hulk Hogan. Thank you so much, Mr. Shinru. Anybody does $5, want to get my man Shinru at the top of the board. Hey, yo, remember, if you drop a dono, make sure you get a music request in, too. So, Shinru, if you got a music track that you want, let me know in the chat. Also, DeAndre. Oh, well, DeAndre, you got your music track, so that's good stuff. So, thank you guys so much. 7 on the combo board. You're already off to a hot start, guys. I appreciate that. First extension, 15-minute extension, comes up at 15. Let's go. Shout outs, guys. Appreciate y'all. Let's see here. The Fuller Skull grip with the cover is much better. That's the one I got. The Fuller Skull grip with the cover. I didn't see that one, but yeah, maybe. Started playing Astrobot yesterday. I wanted to get the game, and it released last year, but I was on sale back in June. The game is incredible. I'll use all the mechanics of PS5. Yeah, it's really good. I like it too. Cannot wait to get my Satisfy. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for this. I think I'm just gonna wait for the Satisfy grip. I did as well. I have 2 currently for my OLED. I have the beat 'em ups grip for the OLED model. Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't get the beat 'em ups one, but I got the just because I didn't get a grip back then. Back then, I didn't even use a grip. I didn't start using a grip until it was years after the Switch 1 came out that I actually started even using a grip. I know it was like I didn't get it right when people were getting grips. I didn't get one. And then like with the OLED one, I just decided, okay, I'll get it. But I didn't have a grip for the OLED for a long time too, you know? So yeah. Yo, Cyber Taurus with the Jiao.
I'm waiting for my Satisfy grip also. I'm done playing around with anything else.
Yeah.
Can you drop a Metroid Prime track for me, please? And thank you.
Absolutely. Yo, Cyber Taurus, thank you for the big JoJo. I appreciate that. JoJo Sunday in effect now with that first JoJo. Yeah, I've got like 3 separate grips now, right? I bought 3 different grips, all ranging from $20 to $50 at this point. And I think I'm the same. I'm kind of done playing around now at this point. I know what Satisfy is. I know what they're about. They're reliable with their grips, and they're taking a long time. So that tells me that they're really trying to perfect the grip in terms of the shipping, plus obviously the tariffs and all that. They're probably trying to navigate that. But yeah, awesome stuff, man. Thank you so much. Metroid. Do you want Metroid Prime music? Let me double check on that one. Metroid Prime, yeah. This is one of my favorite tracks. Metroid Prime. Is it Phendrana Drifts? I love Phendrana Drifts. I think that's a really cool, chill Sunday type of one. And of course, what else is chill is the Overclock.
Overclock Buster.
Stream clock extended 15 minutes. We usually go for about an hour if we have one of these extra streams where I don't really go, but we're gonna extend that out to maybe 2 hours plus, depending on where we go here with the combo. So thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate that. And of course, my man Cyber T at the top of the board with the 10. Anybody does 10 more, beat up my man Cyber T on the board. Thank you for the support, brother. I appreciate that. And thank you for the cool music track too, man. I love to get the music tracks going for you guys, man. So I appreciate that. Cyber T helps out the stream a lot. Should I get an Alienware Area 51 desktop? Keep my Switch 2, say screw it to Sony and Microsoft? No, that's not my call to make. I don't think you should say, that's not my call. It should be based on the games that you want to play. If you still want to play Sony first party games and all that, and you want to play them day and date, you know, right when they drop, you know, all of that, then I would say PS5 is great. Get PS5. I mean, I can't honestly recommend an Xbox at this point. I used to always recommend an Xbox, but I can't honestly recommend an Xbox because they don't get all the AA games, right? They don't get all of like the E's and stuff like that. And they obviously don't. I mean, they have Game Pass, but all their games are coming to PS5. And like a lot of their games are coming to PS5 as well. So I would say, yeah, you can go PC, but you might have to wait for some of Sony's games. But if you truly want to play everything, well, not everything, but if you truly want to play most of everything, I would say get a PS5 or a PS5 Pro and have a Switch. If you do PS5 and Switch, that's a pretty good combo. You're really not going to miss out on anything, and you're not going to have the headaches that PC will give you. I mean, just my own personal experience, PS5 is a lot more streamlined than PC, and it pretty much gets everything that the PC gets. Not everything, but it gets a lot of stuff. And then you're gonna get those Sony first party games, day and date. You're gonna get them right there. You don't have to wait, like Astrobot, right? That will probably come to PC at some point, maybe, but it's not gonna be anytime. It's still not on right now, right? And it's going on a year. So that's why I say, like, or you have to wait for Stellar Blade or something like that, right? Like a year for Stellar Blade. So that's why I say probably PS5 and Switch is a pretty good combo, man. Pretty good combo, in my opinion, at least. Big love to Cyber Taurus. Let's go. Thank you for the JoJo. I think we should. It's not Friday, guys. It's Sunday, but I think we can still play the JoJo Friday since we missed it on Friday. I think we can still play. Just make sure. Just imagine that it says Sunday on there. Let's go. Oh man, I owe you guys some from there too as well. Hey, shout outs, let's get it. I will say this about Mumba grips I sent you. It's dockable too. Okay. Oh yeah, I've heard about the Mumba grips. Yeah. I've seen them. Yeah, they seem all right. They seem all right for sure. Shout outs to Shinru. Thank you for the good suggestion, my man. What's up? Is it Retro Tech? Hey, what's up, man? Welcome. If I have not said hi to you, make sure I say I've been missing people lately in the stream. So if I haven't said hi to you, make sure you say what up in the chat. If I still don't say hi to you, make sure you keep saying it. Rajiv is here. What's up, Rajiv? Flightius is here. Film Watcher. If you buy PC, you're still supporting Microsoft. They own one. Well, no. I'm not trying to say that you guys should not support Microsoft because of what happened. I'm not like that. I'm not a psycho like some of these people on here that will go fury, like trying to, completely tank a company because they did something that I don't like. I'm not sitting there and saying that. I'm saying that I can't recommend Microsoft right now because the game situation, right? They're putting all their games on PS5 and they don't get the AA games that we see that Nintendo and that Sony gets. So like if you like Ease, if you like that, it's not based off of Microsoft doing what they did. I'm not like that. Listen, I don't like what they did, and obviously I don't like it, but that doesn't mean the company should just die, like I'm not like that. I'm not crazy like these people online who think that a company does something that you don't like, then all of a sudden you got to turn it into some type of personal like Streets of Rage grudge or something like that. It ain't even like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like that at all. That's wild to me. If the company has stuff that you like and that you want to play, then buy it. It's up to you. But I'm just saying for me personally, I can't recommend an Xbox right now, especially at the price that it is. I can't recommend an Xbox right now, you know? So yeah. Let's see. Not North Star Sunday. No, North Star Sunday sounds pretty good too. I don't have any North Star notifications set up though, you know. But yeah, maybe I don't stream on Sundays a lot either. So let's see here. We're talking about the stuff that's in the title, Kevin. So we're talking about the leak for N64. We're just answering random questions, things like that. What's up, OJ? Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing good, man. How are you? Got off the skull grip now. We'll try another. It's good too, but bulky for my hands. The skull grip was bulky. It seemed pretty light and small to me, but then again, I got big hands, so yeah, it just depends, right? Let's see. I don't like what they did, but Game Pass is fire. Yeah, see, I'm not a Game Pass guy. I mean, I guess maybe we can save this for tomorrow's stream. But now we're starting to have some developers speak out and say Game Pass is like not good for the industry. It's getting kind of crazy out there, right? With Game Pass and stuff. I mean, I'm not a Game Pass guy just because I think my issue with Game Pass, or for me personally, not that it's wrong, but my issue is that I have too many games that I want to play on other systems, and my time to play games is limited. I do not have enough time to be going through an assortment buffet of video games that I might or might not want to play on top of all the other games that I want to play that are on the Nintendo Switch. Like, listen, it took me 3 weeks to beat Guardians of Azuma. It took me 3+ weeks to put 70 hours. So that tells you that I don't have a ton of free time to play video games, because I was averaging like what, 15 hours, a little bit over 15 hours a week, 20 hours a week. So I mean, that's not a ton of time for gaming. I mean, it's a good amount of time, but it's not a ton of time for gaming. So I just don't have the time to be sitting there and playing their assortment buffet of video games, especially on top of everything else that I want to play on PS5 and Xbox Series that's not coming to Game Pass, or even just games that are not coming to Game Pass that are on Xbox. So it's like, for me, that's the problem that I have. You know, it's too much when it comes to gaming. There's too much. I already have a crazy backlog too. But I'll say this: if I was a child that couldn't afford all my own games, and my mom bought me Game Pass, I'd be very, very, very happy. I'd probably be like, yo, this is the greatest thing of all time. So I'm happy that it's there for those people that want it. Absolutely. Let's see, generally asking, what's so great about the Satisfy grip? What makes the Satisfy grip so good is that the back is like, it has like a nice, firm, like rubbery type of grip to it, where it doesn't feel like it's gonna slip out of your hands. And I would just say that it locks into place well. It's just a solid grip overall. Just a solid grip overall. Mario Kart World choice. All right, I got you, man. Mario Kart World music. Mario Kart World. All right. If Smash 64 comes back, we need to run the rematch. Yeah, because you got bodied, party man. You got absolutely bodied in Mario Kart or in Smash 64. So yeah, we can do the run back. We can do the run back. 100% we can do the run back. Let's go, man. Shout outs. Thank you for liking my video today, Mr. Davis. John Morales. Yo, John M. Yo, Big John M in the chat. Hey, yo, what's up, Big John M? Says, yo, my weight down to from 288 to 231. Yo, let's go. Big John out here about to be Little John. Yeah. About to be Slim John in a little bit. Hey, let's go. What's up, John? Good to see that you're losing some weight, brother. Let's go. Keep it going. Protein, lean meats, protein, low carbs. You know what I'm saying? No sugars. That's all you got to do. Let's go. Thank you for the $2. Game Pass is good for students and younger audiences. I mean, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, maybe. It kind of depends on what type of gamer you are. Like, if you're a gamer that doesn't have too much money, but you like to actually have your games, like have them because you don't get to play frequently, then I would say that Game Pass might not be a good option for you. As a student, it might not be a good option for you. How much time do you have to play games compared to studying, right? So if you're not playing games all the time, value is lost on Game Pass. That's the problem, because remember, it's yearly that they bill you, right? Or it's monthly, but the best deal is yearly. So if you're not playing all the time, you definitely lose out on the value of Game Pass. So I think that's also another issue too. Like, I don't always play games every single week all the time. Like, I'm gonna take a little break. You know, I just got done putting 70 hours into that, you know, into a game, and of course I put a ton of time into Mario Kart World. So over the last barely about a month, I've put 100 plus hours between Mario Kart World and between Cyberpunk and between like old school Switch 1 games. I've already put 100 hours plus. So I take a little bit of a break, you know, after I beat a game. Whereas Game Pass, you take breaks and stuff like that, man. Like that's time. That's like time wasted, considering that it's a subscription service and not like something that you own yourself. So that'd be the only thing. Like I said, there's good things and there's bad things, just like anything, you know. Let's see here. Satisfy is hands down the best grip out there. Plus it's dockable. Yeah, a lot of these docks are also dockable as well that are coming. Like that, like a lot of the new docks are dockable. But yeah, Satisfy grip does have a good dockable one. I clicked for Smash Bros. What's new? It says that right there in the title. There's a leak that essentially it's coming to the N64 NSO. N64 NSO is getting Smash Brothers in terms of it. So yeah, that's what's happening. Let's see here. Cutting carbs, sugars, then doing things like smoking my own meats at home was one of the best decisions. Yes, definitely a good decision. High protein, you know what I'm saying? Low fat, no trans fat. Try to get none of that. Low saturated fats. Definitely, like, yeah, all that stuff helps out, man. Let's see here. Game Pass devalue games, in my opinion. To me, the true value in a game is when it's good enough to where the consumer would buy it outright. Plus, Game Pass is unsustainable. Yeah, that's what some of these developers are saying. Like, there was actually a pretty big developer that said this, so we can go over towards that to Shaw X. What's up, Big Shaw X in the chat? The Fiber Man. There was actually a developer that worked with Microsoft that's actually owned under Microsoft. So yeah, I think that let me go to the bookmarks here. So it was, gosh, who was it? It was, okay, here we go. It was from Raphael C. He is the president and creative director of Wolfeye Studios, and he was the founder of Arcane Studios. So that's Dishonored and Prey, which is under Bethesda, those games. And he essentially just said, he said, why is no one talking about the elephant in the room, cough, cough, Game Pass? And then somebody else asked him, as a developer, what are your thoughts on Game Pass? And he said, I think Game Pass is an unsustainable model that has been increasingly damaging the industry for a decade, subsidized by Microsoft's infinite money. But at some point, reality has to hit. I don't think Game Pass can coexist with other models. They'll either kill everyone else or give up. So yeah, that's what he had to say. I think the Baldur's Gate 3 director also kind of chimed in as well. I forgot where he says it somewhere here, but I can't find that. But yeah, the Baldur's Gate 3 director also chimes in and says, yeah, man, like, you know, it is what it is on that. And obviously a lot of people, you know, feel differently with that. They feel that Game Pass is incredible value. I mean, which it is incredible value. If you play all the games on Game Pass, it is incredible value. So it's like a double-edged sword. Game Pass is the ultimate double-edged sword when it comes down to it, you know. It really is. So at least that's what I think. That's what it feels like based off of what some developers will say. Let's see here. What edition do you think they'll make first for Switch 2? Not really sure. We'll see. Microsoft doesn't need sustainability. I mean, yeah, they do. What do you mean? They just fired 9,000 employees. I think you would definitely, the employees that were just fired would be like, yeah, we would like some sustainability right now. No, that is definitely not true, because we're dealing with, people talk about people being greedy. We're talking about Microsoft. This is the ultimate greed. You know what I'm saying? Like, their owner or their CEO is worth $1 billion. Their CEO is worth $1 billion. He makes $80 million a year. He didn't take a pay cut. So yeah, sustainability would be good right now for them. No, they need that. They do need that, because 9,000 people just lost their job. So yes, you need sustainability. You need constant large amounts of revenue coming in. If you don't, then guess what happens? The people at the bottom get the cut first, you know? So yeah. The Blizzard acquisition is a result of this, not Game Pass. It's not the Blizzard acquisition that's a result of this. Or it's not that. They already had layoffs for the Blizzard acquisition, the Sly Crow. They already had layoffs for that. Game Pass combined with the tanking physical hardware sales, the tanking software sales, that Phil Spencer can say we've had our biggest year in. They don't give us any numbers. They don't give us any numbers. He can say that they've had their biggest year this, their biggest year that. All of the information that we've gotten points to that they don't sell enough games. That they don't sell enough games and they don't sell enough hardware. That is the information that's out there. Now, if you combine that with layoffs, layoffs are usually a direct result of not selling enough games, of not bringing enough revenue coming in. Now, yes, were some of those jobs replaced with AI? I'm pretty sure that, yeah, they wanted to replace them with AI so they can make more profits, make more money, whatever the case is, right? Be seen as more valuable because they have less employees and more AI doing tasks. But it wasn't all based off of AI. It's revenue coming in, and they cut funding for projects. They cut funding to Mr. Romero's game that he had, the creator of Doom, one of the co-creators of Doom. They laid off of staff from what's it called? From Rare. They canceled Everwild. They canceled Perfect Dark. They shut down the studio of The Initiative. You know, like, that stuff has nothing to do with AI. You know, that stuff has nothing to do with the Activision Blizzard. Activision Blizzard, that has nothing to do with Perfect Dark being canceled and The Initiative being shut down. So that is the direct result of not bringing in enough revenue and greed from the top brass from Microsoft. Like, insane greed. Like I said, you know, if you have a CEO making $80 million, I think it's about time that maybe that goes down a little bit and let some of those other people keep their job, you know? Because he's not going to take it. He's not taking any less. So yeah, PS Plus feels more economical since bigger games don't usually come to it till they're a bit older, and such gives plenty of time for people to buy them. Yeah, that's definitely the better, for Sony at least, that's the better way of going, you know? This is high protein, no sugar, definitely does it. I'm down 56 pounds doing this. Yes, sir, Big Goblin. Game Pass is the reason they can't keep their games exclusive. LOL, they need to make what they're paying the publishers for those games. But I think that's also one of the reasons why they actually want to sell those games on Microsoft or on Sony and Nintendo systems for full price, right? They want to sell those games because they know that they want to make that money. They know that Game Pass isn't going to make as much money as the game could make because memberships aren't going up. If memberships were rapidly increasing, if they had 50 million memberships, I'm telling you right now, we might not even be having this conversation. If they had 50 to 60 million and slightly going up every single month, I think that this conversation wouldn't be happening. I think that the Xbox Series obviously would have sold a lot better. And I think that, you know, none of this would be happening right now. They'd probably still be making exclusive games, maybe, with a few exceptions here and there, you know. But yeah, they're not selling enough systems. They're not selling enough games. And that's really what it comes down to, you know. No matter what Jez or no matter what some of these Xbox, Windows, or PC guys that are trying to tell you, because that's what I've heard from these PC guys, these crazy, you know, sometimes Nintendo haters or whatever, that Xbox is fine, Game Pass is fine, their studios are fine, everything is fine, everything's good, they still make a lot of money, the developers are still doing, like, that's what I hear from them. But it's layoffs after layoffs after layoffs, it's cancellations after cancellations. Everything's not fine. Everything is definitely not fine. Now listen, Sony's also had stuff too. Sony's also had cancellations of live service, but once again, that was more due to them noticing that this is a bad idea, more so than them not selling enough games and all that, right? And if you look at Sony, obviously they haven't had as many layoffs, but they still have had bad layoffs because of what? Well, because revenue is good and all that, but the expenses to run this is a lot. So it's once again just greed from the top of the line, you know. At Sony as well, but Microsoft has had multiple rounds of layoffs and a lot at this point. And once again, they've canceled a lot of games that people were actually looking forward to. I don't think anybody's really looking forward to a lot of 5,000 live service games from Sony, you know, like maybe Factions, but I don't think anybody was really looking forward to like a million different live service games. But Microsoft is canceling games that, you know, single player games or games that people want, like Perfect Dark, right? You know, so those are the things that are definitely not good. I'm not sure what Everwild was or is, but whatever that is, that's also canceled too. You know, so yeah. Let's see here. What up, Epic Lobster? Welcome, man. How you doing today? Sony ecosystem is closed, at least with Xbox and PC. You can play games everywhere with cloud or GeForce Now. And yeah, that's great, but you can also get games canceled everywhere with GeForce Now and cloud, you know?
Whether you're playing on Xbox, PlayStation, or Switch, drink water and stay hydrated. Easiest thing you can do for your health.
I agree. I got my water right here. Let's go. Thanks for reminding me. Shout outs to my man Cyber Torch with another $5 dono. You are now extending the Hokage lead to 15. Anybody does 15 or more, that's the Toby Blaster. You can Pass it, my man Cyber T, the top of the board, 24. We are only 6 combos away from the 30-minute extension on stream. Hey, yo, let's go. Thank you so much, Mr. Cyber Taurus. But no, all joking aside, big love to Cyber Taurus, but all joking aside, look, Slycro, this is not an Xbox bash session. You don't have to, it's not like we need to defend what they offer in terms of value. Nobody's saying that. What we're saying is that it's unsustainable. What we're saying is that that's great that Xbox does all this, but it's coming at a great cost to us, the consumer. I was looking forward to checking out what Perfect Dark would ultimately be. That was one of the reasons why I was like, okay, Xbox Series X is going to be a good investment for me because I'm going to be able to play Perfect Dark. But canceling games and laying off developers, that's definitely not good. Don't get me wrong, it's good stuff. I don't want to play cloud games, so GeForce Now, cloud and all that, that's irrelevant to me. And I don't want to buy ROG Allies or other stuff to play games portable. I don't want to do all that, but I have an Xbox Series X. But it's definitely not a good look right now. You know, definitely not a good look right now when you're canceling games and you're laying off, you know, 10,000. In the past 2 years, they've laid off how many developers? 20,000 devs or something like that. Like it's over 15,000, right? It's over 10,000. I know that for sure, but I know it's anywhere between 10,000 and 20,000 or 10,000 and 15,000 or something like that, right? So we're starting to get to the point to where, yeah, that's great that they have Game Pass and it's great, but how sustainable is this if you're laying off devs, canceling games, and shutting down studios? By the way, remember, the Initiative, that is a ground up built first party studio that was supposed to be nurtured and supposed to be brought up like a bonsai tree in Karate Kids. You know, it was supposed to be nurtured as a first party studio, and they shut them down before they even get started. What about Hi-Fi Rush? It checks every box on Game Pass. Look, this had how many downloads on Game Pass? Look, everybody loves the game. It checks all the boxes. Oh, no, it doesn't. Shut down the studio. Sell off the IP. Like, listen. We can't just be sitting here and just saying it's okay, it's okay, it's okay because you like the deal, because you think it's a great deal. Like, at some point you gotta just say, okay, fine, it's a great deal. Sure, it's a great deal, but how sustainable is this? Like, how sustainable is this when you're sitting there and saying everything's great? Hi-Fi Rush checked every box. Wait a minute. Oh, we're shutting down the studio. Why'd you shut down the studio? You just said that it checked. Aaron Greenberg just said, executive at Microsoft, just said that it checked every box, just said that it hit all their metrics, just said that, oh, we had 3 million downloads on Game Pass or millions of downloads on Game Pass. Everything's good, right? No, it's not good. So we've got to be realistic here when it comes down to this. Now, once again, if Game Pass was doing what it was doing and developers are not getting laid off, and games aren't getting canceled, and studios aren't getting shut down, then I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying right now. Even if they had the same amount of Game Pass subscribers, I wouldn't be saying that. But, I mean, at some point, you got to look at this and say, okay, well, hold up, you know? Like, wait, hold up. Like, they're saying everything's fine all the time, and we're doing all this, but then they're shutting down studios and canceling games, you know? So, I think that's the problem that we're running into, Slycro. That's the problem. I wonder if there was a social media back in the day of Sega, we would be seeing the same Xbox stuff. Mistakes from Sega. I'm not really sure. What's up, Gaming Mariner? Welcome. My Sunday's good, man. How are you? Hey, what's up, V? Welcome to the stream. 90 months. Yo, let's go. Let's get it. We can get a combo break for that. Let's go. Nashville is hinting towards a direct this week. Don't know how reliable he is, but I've heard his name many times. He seems like a sometimes reliable. I'd give him, like, he's not quite a Nate the Hate reliable, but he's definitely a reliable. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not going to sit there and say that. I think that he's definitely gotten some things right. You know, he's definitely gotten some things right. So we'll see if we get a direct this week, you know? Blizzard and Activision acquisition was the biggest in history. How long will it take for them to get returns more than 10 years? No, I think that they're getting back a lot of their investment, you know, already. Activision Blizzard makes a lot of money, so they're getting back a lot of that. I'm not sure how long it's going to take because they don't open up the books to everybody to see exactly everything. At least not that from what I saw. Maybe they do, so correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, man, I mean, we'll see. You know, we'll see overall. To be honest, direct this week will make Bonanza feel like it's coming faster. Oh, yeah. That would make it feel like it's coming faster. Although, for me, everything's been going by real quick because, you know, when you have a family, you have a kid, you have work, you have, you know, games. Like, I got so much stuff to play that it's insane, right? So, everything's going by fast for me. But I know for some people maybe it'll feel slow. It'll feel slower. So if we have a direct, it'll go by a lot quicker with that, because then we can talk about all the new direct games and all that. So one of my 2 favorite jobs, clothes washing, dishwashing. Oh, okay, there you go. Let's see. They got the King. They also got a King who makes Candy Crush that has been giving them some back to. Yeah, absolutely. But even Candy Crush had layoffs. You know? Even Candy Crush, even the almighty Candy Crush had layoffs at King. So the Candy Crush developers. So I mean, it's tough out in these streets, man. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, man. A lot of stuff. If MS didn't buy Activision, these games would have been canceled. If MS didn't buy, I don't think that's the I don't think that's the reason why. I think it's overall the business of just the Xbox. If you want to know the ultimate reason why why all this happened, it's because Xbox is not selling enough. That's really what it comes down to, guys. Trust me, and I swear on this one. If Xbox was at 70 to 80 million units right now, you would see way more people actually buying Game Pass. You'd see way more people actually buying games, and probably none of this would have happened. If they were at 70 to 80 million units, I don't think any of this would have happened, because you need an install base. Like I said, these Xbox guys will sit there and tell you that install base is not that well, not all the Xbox guys, not all, I don't want to label all of them, but a lot of them were saying, oh, well, it doesn't matter anymore. The install base doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. And it's like, no, it does matter, because how do you sell Game Pass when you don't have as many systems? You need systems to sell Game Pass. Game Pass, I think, has more game subscribers than it does actual Xbox Series systems sold between PC and Xbox Series. You need more people. The more systems you have, the more opportunity you can to sell your games and to sell Game Pass. So I think that's the biggest reason why. If Microsoft was actually doing a lot better with the video game hardware sales, that would naturally increase all of the revenue, all the profits, all of the Game Pass sales would go up, you know. All that would be better. All that would be better. And I don't think this would be happening, or at least not to this degree, in my opinion. Do you think it's Smash 64? Yes, it's Smash 64. That's why I think I put Smash. Did I not put Smash 64 in the title? If I missed, yeah, Smash Bros. And yeah, N64 League. So yeah, Super Smash Bros. And Donkey Kong N64 League. Yes, it's the NSO for N64. Yes. What do you think Steam Deck being what do you think about Steam being integrated to Xbox? I don't really care, because I don't like Steam, or it's not that I don't like Steam, but I don't care for Steam. I'm not a PC gamer, so I don't really care. But if they do it, then that's fine for them, you know. Let's see here. I think Xbox cancellation is the result of Phil Spencer not calling the shots anymore, and someone definitely overriding him. That's not the point. You're sure that's maybe who made the call, but why did they make that call? There is a why that Mr. Nadella, or whatever his name is, Satya, the CEO. Why did he make that call? Why did he make that call? Well, he made that call because he sees the numbers, and the numbers aren't lining up. So if Xbox was doing incredibly well, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, if the Xbox Series X and S have sold 100 million units, would this be happening right now? Do you guys honestly think that this would be happening right now? If the Xbox series of systems sold upward of 100 million, there's no chance in hell. There's no way. There's no way, because this didn't happen during the Xbox 360 era. This didn't happen during that era. They sold 80 million plus systems in that era. That didn't happen in that era. You didn't have whole studios being shuttered and shut down right before your eyes, and everything, all firing a million. Like, that didn't happen. So guys, it's based off of that. It's not because some evil entity decided to cancel Microsoft. That's not, or cancel everything because they're evil. Oh, I'm calling the shots. It's because they see what's happening. That's the reason why. Once again, if they were selling crazy amounts or big amounts, this probably wouldn't be happening to the degree that it's happening to. Could it still happen? Sure. Sony's selling great, and they still had some stuff. But to the degree that it's happening right now, I don't think we would see that. I don't think it would be that way. Let's see here. Smash 64 is my favorite Smash Bros. Nice. Let's see. If it's exclusive to Switch 2, I'm a sue. If what is exclusive to Switch 2? Oh, Smash 64? No, it's not. Smash 64. The 64 NSO app is on Switch 1 and on Switch 2. So why would it be exclusive to Switch 2? That makes no sense. The app is on both. The app is on, what would be exclusive if they did Melee Anything GameCube, yeah, GameCube is exclusive, but N64 app is on Switch 1, so why would it be exclusive? The US is getting beaten by China in AI race, so Microsoft is investing more aggressively in AI, which is resulting in jobs layoffs. Once again, it's not AI has nothing to do with the initiative being shut down and what's it called? And Perfect Dark being canceled, guys. So you can even remove that. You can remove that whole AI aspect. That has nothing to do with Perfect Dark. That has nothing to do with Everwild. That has nothing to do with the MMO that got canceled from Bethesda. That has nothing to do with that, guys. So the AI race has nothing to do with Bethesda's MMO. Has nothing to do with Everwild. Has nothing to do with Perfect Dark has nothing to do with the initiative being shut down. Don't get misdirected here. Don't be led aflame. Oh, AI. No, that didn't cause a Perfect Dark to be canceled. Now, I know you're saying that's a part of it or an aspect of it. Sure. Were jobs being replaced by AI? Absolutely. But that has nothing to do with them shutting down a lot of this stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not all just based off of that. It's based off of the performance of the Xbox Series. Everyone's trying to find scapegoats. It's because of Nutellus. It's because of AI. It's because, and yes, these are all factors. But guys, you got to go down to what is the root of the issue. What is the root of the issue? The root of the issue is that there is not as much revenue coming in that needs to be coming in my opinion, based off of everything that we know about this video game industry, guys. You know? So yeah. Just respectfully disagree. When a company spends $80 billion on AI, they have to trim costs somewhere. But it wouldn't be, you have to trim costs somewhere, but that has nothing to do with Perfect Dark. It has nothing to do with their games. They could have trimmed costs in other places. That has nothing to do with Perfect Dark being shut down. If you're going to invest in AI, that's fine. You invest in AI, but their games are their games. I get that they're trying to trim costs. I get that, but I don't think Perfect Dark and I don't think these games that were supposed to be coming out are the ones that are going to get cut because of AI. Now listen, they lost 9,000 employees, okay? All of that was not in gaming. A lot of that was in their PC business, Aries. That's the reason why I'm saying that I don't think it has much to do with that. Like, a lot of the cuts were in other factors outside of gaming. Outside of their game sector. They cut a lot of people that had nothing to do with gaming. They cut a ton of people that had nothing to do with gaming. So don't get me wrong. Sure, their investments have to come from somewhere, but did they throw a dart at a dartboard to pick and choose what they're going to cut? Like, how do you make that what gets cut or not? Take a look at, for example, Aries. Take a look at Perfect Dark. They explained what Perfect Dark is. Perfect Dark is essentially, it was a vertical slice of a demo of an in-engine gameplay or in-engine thing, vertical slice that you have to play a certain way, otherwise it doesn't work. Now, could them saying we're going to invest in AI, we have to cut stuff that's a flop? Sure. I'm not going to sit there and say that wasn't part of it. But if Perfect Dark was in much better shape, would it have been cut? I don't know. If Perfect Dark was getting ready to be released, would it have been cut? I don't think so. If Perfect Dark was close, let's just say Perfect Dark was going to drop in 2026, I don't think they would have canceled it. I think it would have, they would have not, that game would have stayed. So that's what I'm saying. Not everything is all about that. I think that game in particular, Perfect Dark and all that, was because, one, obviously the console sales and stuff like that, because how long is that game going to take before it's even ready to make money? That game was probably still off by years. Once again, the developer even admitted that the game has fake stuff in it, that there's fake things in the game, that it's not all real. It wasn't a real situation. And if you don't play the game the exact way that the person in the demo was playing the game, it doesn't work. So if you start going off, the AI starts acting weird, or the AI doesn't work, or there's certain, like, it wasn't a real thing. So after 4 or 5 years plus of development, this is what you have: a fake or partially fake vertical slice of a game that you announced in 2020. Yeah, Microsoft's upper management just said, what the hell? We've invested $100 million to however many. Dude, we're gonna cut this. So that's what happened. They got frustrated and said, this is what you have after 4 or 5 years, and 50, 60, 70 million dollars or however much we've invested, no, shut this thing down. It's a failure. So that's what they did. They just bossed them. They just chumped them out. They just chumped them out, you know, on that one. So I think that's really what it comes down to. Now, once again, could that be a byproduct of AI investment? Sure. But I don't think that if Xbox Series had been selling really well, right, and game sales were really high, I don't think they would have said, okay, we're investing in AI, screw this game. Even though it's almost ready, it's coming out. They wouldn't have done that. I don't think so, you know? Let's see here. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I mean, and listen, the rumor was that it was a mess. And when the rumor came out that it was a mess, everybody gave... I think it was Jeff Grubb. It might have been Jeff Grubb, I forgot, but they gave that person hell. So yeah. See my updated comment. Sorry, I type faster than I think. No, it's all good. The money is calling for shots for Microsoft. I think the Xbox cancellation is a result of Phil Spencer not calling the shots anymore and someone definitely overriding him. Maybe, like I said, but yeah, I don't think Phil Spencer decided to cut everybody. I don't think that was, so I don't think it was Phil Spencer that did that. He doesn't sign the ultimate checks at the end of the day, you know? So yeah, I really hate AI, man. Future's depressing with the job market. Yeah, it's definitely cutting into things for sure. I think it was Liam who said the Perfect Dark was in trouble years ago. I know he said that, but he didn't get crap for it. I forgot. Somebody said Perfect Dark was in trouble, and then somebody gave them a lot of crap for that. Let's see here. Perfect Dark is Perfect Dark Xbox is in trouble. I forgot. Somebody said that. I forgot who it was though. The funny thing, they call that a quadruple A studio. So that means they invested even more money than what you would expect. A quadruple A. Yeah, I forgot exactly who said that. When it comes down to that. Yeah, I forgot who, because Google just gives you all the latest. It's canceled. So yeah, very unfortunate. Are Fable and Perfect Dark in trouble? That's from June 8th. Oh, June. Oh, that was last month. Okay. Rumors suggest Perfect Dark. Oh, Nate the Hate? Rumors suggest Perfect Dark status isn't that bad. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's take a look at this article here. This is funny. This is funny. Okay, let's take a look at this. If you're wondering where the status of Xbox's upcoming Perfect Dark game currently lies, you're certainly not alone, given it was announced over 3 years ago, and official updates since have been scarce, to say the least. While just a few days ago, several pundits, gaming journalists indicated that the game status is looking bleak. There we go. The game status was, okay, Jeff Grubb. There we go. I knew it was Jeff Grubb that reported the game status is not looking good. Specifically noting he's been hearing for years that Perfect Dark is in a rough state. There's a new source coming forward that has a different direction. So Nate the Hate, a well-Nintendo reliable Xbox leaker, I don't say he's a reliable Xbox leaker, spoke on the Spawncast titled Xbox in Turmoil, uploaded on May 10th, and indicated that not only is Perfect Dark's development status less concerning that others have suggested, Nate the Hate expects the game to be shown at the June Xbox showcase. The consistent, okay, he was right about that. He was right that, listen, like, it's gonna be shown. So maybe he got smixed like everybody else got smixed looking at that footage of the game. Maybe he saw that footage like, see, look, everything's okay. So yeah, he said he fully expects Perfect Dark to be there. More recent rumors have been outdated information, perhaps. I've been hearing things that this week that Perfect Dark is not that bad of a state. Ooh. So I think that once again, it's a smixing. That's what happened there. It's a smixing. It's a smixing of it. This was last year, guys. That was last year. That May 11th, 2024. So yeah. So I mean, he was right though, because they ended up having it at the showcase, and there was a lot of people that were like, "Oh my god, this game looks incredible." I know Sean was like, "Oh my god, this game looks so good," and I was like, yeah, I think it looks. I was like, yeah, I think it looks good, but like, I don't know, it just seemed a little weird. That's what I said. It seemed a little weird to me. And I remember on the Spawncast, like we kind of butted heads a little bit. I think from what I remember on Perfect Dark, you know. So, hey, what's up, John? John Clerm says watching from the Philippines. Hey, yo, shout outs to the Philippines. Let's go. I think Phil Spencer kind of failed as a leader. Too many projects canceled, took way too long under his watch, which made development more expensive. On top of that, Xbox consoles weren't selling. Yeah. I think the way they actually sell Xbox, like the way they actually sell consoles, maybe it's an outdated method, but you got to have exclusives and you got to push console sales. Like you got to push, hey, this is the big exclusive that's worth this amount of money, and you got to buy this system to get this game. I think that's the way that you sell consoles. Yes, it's outdated. Yes, people aren't doing it anymore. Yes, it's crusty or old or whatever. But I think that that's the way that you do it. Under, you know, Microsoft had their best success in the 360 era when they did that. So to me, they should have just copied what the 360, like just try to copy what the 360 does every time until it works. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say, but I think that definitely not having the exclusives, not having the big, you know, hey, look, we're gonna launch it on this system and like do this. Like I think that's a blow to hardware for sure. That's a blow. I think that you're not gonna be able to sell as much if you don't do that. Let's see here. That's what sold the 360, but the franchises fell off. Yeah, I mean, it did and it didn't, you know, to a degree. But yeah, I mean, I think that's part of it too. So yeah. Yo, Cyber Taurus as well with another Ninja Peach.
Nintendo first-party games are usually a no-brainer pickup for me. But lately, I find myself more drawn to HD 2D titles and surprise gems like Expedition 33, rather than waiting around for the so-called bangers.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like that's definitely something that is, and you know, Expedition 33 was also on Game Pass as well. So yeah, it's definitely something that's there. For sure, Cyber Taurus, for sure. Yo, big love to Cyber Taurus with the almost, we're at 30, almost at 30 at the board. We're one combo away from a 30-minute extension. Let's go. Cyber Taurus extending the Hokage lead to $20. Anybody does 20 or more, get my man Cyber Taurus on the board. Let's go. Thank you so much, Cyber Taurus. The last, I think 4 donos, last 4. Thank you so much, Cyber Taurus. Or the last 3 out of 4. Let's go. Shout out to Big John. He did one as well. So big love, guys. Appreciate that. Cyber Taurus, if you want any music, let me know, and I got you, man. Let me get some Expedition 33 music for you, since you talked about Expedition 33. Let's go and let's get that music for you as well. Let's do that, shall we? Expedition 33. Just do a combat theme for Expedition 33. All right, here we go. Expedition 33 is already out on. It's been out on Steam since it all launched day and date. So yeah, it's already been out. And I think it's also the cheapest outside of Game Pass, obviously, if you already have that. But yeah, it's actually like 35 or 40 bucks on Game Pass, like, with some deals that you can find. Or sorry, on PC. What do you think is Xbox solution? There really is no solution. There really is no solution outside of if they're going with this. Like me, I'm crazy. I'd go down with the ship. I would completely reinvent the whole brand. If it was up to me, if I was given the money, I would completely remove, and I know this sounds terrible. You know, I probably shouldn't even say this. Because it sounds like it's so bad. Now, I'm not saying this as a consumer, okay? I'm not saying this as a consumer. I'm saying this if I was in charge, okay? Not as a consumer, but I would completely nuke Game Pass and everything, and I would try one more time to have exclusives, to have and like I said, it's a terrible idea, by the way. Let me just say, it's a terrible idea, but I would completely nuke Game Pass and say, guys, we are going to have exclusives. Yes, some games will be on PlayStation, which we'll let you know. Probably multiplayer games. I'll say multiplayer games are on PlayStation, on PC, maybe on Switch if we can get it running. But all big single-player games, or all big games that are focused on single-player, first and foremost, those are Xbox exclusive. Stuff like Clockwork Revolution, No PS5 version. Stuff like Starfield. Obviously, if that ever, it's not on PS5 yet, but Starfield, Xbox exclusive. Everything that's a single player focused game or a game that you can play by yourself predominantly, that would be on Xbox exclusive. That's what I would do. But once again, that is not as a consumer. That is me just saying, like I said, if I had to try to turn the ship around or save something, that's what I would do. And that would probably fail because you'd lose all your consumer goodwill and trust, but I'd still try it and hope people forget. And hopefully I can encourage and invigorate the teams to make bangers that are worth picking up an Xbox for. Once again, that's just not saying that's a good idea. It's probably a terrible idea. But if I just said, like I said, if you're going to go down with the ship, you're going to go down with the ship anyway, right? So if like to turn it around, I'm not talking about like, oh, me being there for a very long time. It's like either boom or bust, right? If I don't turn this thing around to where it changes it to where we can sell a bunch of systems, not, oh, we're going to make a PC box or we're going to slap licensing on something, like actually turn this thing around like how it was like with the 360, like that, you know, that's what I would do. But once again, it's probably a terrible idea. People would hate Microsoft if they did that, and there'd probably be no returning from that if they did. But you never know. Like I said, if you maybe the only saving grace would be if you had games that were truly incredible. Like if Clockwork Revolution is a game of the year type of game, or if, you know, if Starfield was way better, right? Or if the next Elder Scrolls, what about the next Elder Scrolls? That could have been, you know, a system seller. The next Fallout, that game, you know? So that's what I would do. Like I said, but it's a terrible idea. See, why did Xbox stop making exclusives? What was their excuse? Their excuse was the amount of cost that it takes to make the games was exceeding who they're even going to be able to sell games to in the first place. So that's why I said, like, if they sold more consoles, this probably wouldn't be happening, because the higher brass would be like, oh, okay, we're not selling enough. The problem is that they're not selling enough consoles. That's the problem. So that's how it got there in the first place. It got there because they started spending $1 bazillion on games, and you can't sell to an audience of 20 million. That's a GameCube, bro. Like, that's like, you know, like as they were buying all these studios, right? As they were buying all these studios. Now they're like at like 30 something million for like the Xbox Series sales. But like the pace of sales is so slow. We're going on 5 years, 30 million. That is terrible. That is awful. That is really bad. That is half, well, probably a little bit above half of what the Xbox One is sold. That is not good. You can't do that. When you're buying publishers and developers left and right, you can't only sell 30 million units or 34 million units. That's terrible. You need to sell like 60 to 70 million at this point. You need to be selling probably 10 million units at the minimum 10 million units per year. That would be like the minimum. They're not hitting anywhere near 10 million units per year. They're hitting about a little bit over what, 6 to 7 million units per year. Yeah, they're hitting about 7. That's awful. You know, like I said, that's GameCube-ish, you know, rate of GameCube type sales, which obviously GameCube didn't have a long shelf life. It was only 2001 to 2006, so only 5 years. But that's the type of rate that you're going at, like around there. That's not enough, you know. I think you're not including sales of cloud gaming subscriptions can bring. Cloud gaming's not popular enough. It's not popular enough. It's not big enough. They're not making enough from cloud gaming revenue, from cloud gaming sales, because it's still new. It's still relatively new, and most people still don't want to play cloud games, you know. Let's see. It's hard to retain the audience to buy games. Yeah. No need to nuke Game Pass completely, but just should stop day and date stuff. Only add 2 years or older games. Okay, yeah, that's also a less Albert, like, crazy Albert Einstein type of crazy mad scientist. Yeah, so maybe you don't completely nuke, you know, Game Pass, you know, completely, but like you say, make it to where it's not day and date. But then people are just gonna be angry. They're gonna be like, I have to wait now. Like, man, yeah, there's really no good answer. No matter what, I suck when it comes down to it. No matter what, it's trash, and I'm gonna get JoJo beat down by the audience. It doesn't matter what I did. Like, no matter what, it's gonna suck, dude. It's really gonna suck. Let's see here. Game Pass has also been stagnant. It hasn't really grown substantially in years, reaching 20 to 30 million users. Yeah. How many people are still playing Xbox Series? I know I have slowed down, not even booted up mine. There's definitely people still playing it. Like, they still have people playing the system, but it's obviously not as much as PlayStation or Nintendo or mobile or where they need to be. What's up, Brian Jedi? Says MS needs to figure out how to manage their studios. There's no excuse for Perfect Dark being in development for 6 years and not be in a good state, yeah, there's really no excuse for it. And like to barely have a vertical slice of an in-engine thing that if you play a different way that the whole game breaks after 5-6 years, yeah, that's definitely not good. Oh man, that's definitely not good. It's not a good look for sure. You know, now you know how Phil Spencer feels. Well, I don't know how Phil Spencer feels. I'm not an executive at a multi-billion-dollar company, so. So yeah, man. Game Pass is also. Oh, I already read that. My bad. Remember the time when gamers bombed Phil Spencer on Fallout 76 map? I hate to see when they do it to him in video games now. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's nowhere near as bad as how they treated Satoru Iwata when he was alive. So, I mean, they treated Phil bad in some respect, right? But the way that they did Iwata, man, that was crazy. I need to hire from Nintendo with who handles game development cycles. That doesn't make any sense. That you can't just hire from Nintendo. One, Nintendo's executives are incredibly loyal. Yoshiaki Koizumi, Shinya Takahashi, they're not leaving Nintendo to go to Microsoft. What the Those are the guys that are like the big bosses at Nintendo, right? Obviously, Shuntaro Furukawa, they would never like that'd be like they'd rather I think do some paku or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like they'd rather just fall on the sword probably than go from a Japanese company like Nintendo to go run Microsoft. That's insane. I would never see anybody that's grew up with Nintendo. Like I said, the core developers of Nintendo's games. Once again, remember Nintendo, a lot of their executives were are game developers as well. They would not leave Nintendo to go run Microsoft. That'd be career bad for them. That'd be a bad move. One, they don't speak English good enough, I would say. Like they probably understand English a bit here and there, but they don't speak English enough to go work with Microsoft like in the United States and all that. So that doesn't make any sense. And two, once again, Nintendo's philosophy in terms of how they create their talent, how they get their talent, their development studios, the atmosphere everything is completely different. It's old school. It's from Miyamoto, you know, it's from Tezuka. It's from these guys that have been there for decades. Think about this for a second, right here, Momo. Think about this for a second. The original developers, I think, of Super Mario Bros, right? They're still at the company. And they're still at the company to ship Super Mario Bros. Wonder. A lot of the guys that worked on the original Mario Bros. Or like Mario World are still there and they worked on Mario Wonder. I don't think there's anybody that you can say from like originally at PlayStation that worked at like a PS1 game from a developer standpoint, like who's still there that's like a face of the company, right? There's barely anybody left that long. So that type of like bloodline, you know what I'm saying, is just, it's hard to emulate that. That's something that it's done over time. It's done because of certain cultural type of things, right? It's not the same as just like hiring somebody. If you pluck them, that's not going to get you the same result. Just like if you buy a bunch of studios, that's not going to get you incredible sales on everything because now you have everything, you know? So it's something that's built over decades and generations, not quite, kind of generations and decades. You can't just steal someone from that company or take someone that all of a sudden expect them to operate just like Nintendo. It's just not there. On top of that, Microsoft has also trained their audience to get Game Pass. Nintendo's a bit different. We've, for better or for worse, right? We've also been trained that, hey, look, these games are worth this. It's going to stay around that price with some sales here and there. But if you want a premium quality experience, this is what you're going to have to pay, and this is what it is. And for the most part, a lot of Nintendo fans say, yeah, people feel that experience is worth that, you know? So that philosophy and that logic, it's ingrained in for years, decades. It's a very different atmosphere, very different environment, you know, and it'd be tough to replicate. It really would be, you know? So what's up, Kwame Reed? Welcome. Look at MP4. The original version wasn't clearly working, and Nintendo rebooted it maybe 2 years into its development. Yeah, I mean, it might have even been longer than that, but yeah, Brian Jedi. So look at what they did there. Retro Studios has not had a brand new game in a decade plus. They've worked on other things here and there, like side projects, but they have not had a brand new game in a decade plus, and they've stayed open. And not only that, but they also funded them with more big staff, that guys that worked on like Uncharted and Call of Duty and other games like that. So they actually brought in more people to help out. And look at Metroid Prime 4 now. You know, look at it now. Is this game gonna sell? Obviously, it's not going to be like Mario sales numbers, but could this game sell 5-6 million units? Damn right it could. If it's a 90+ rated game on Switch 1 and Switch 2, this could be the breakout that Retro Studios and Nintendo have been looking for. We saw what happened with Metroid Dread, right? Metroid Dread broke franchise sales records, and that's 2D Metroid. 2D Metroid doesn't sell as good as 3D Metroid for the most part. So I think that Metroid Prime 4 has a phenomenal opportunity to absolutely kill it in sales comparative to other Metroid Prime games or other Metroid games, you know? Chris with the 22 months. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate that. Let's go. Let's see. I thought Xbox was buying Nintendo. Yeah, right. Oh, man. Let's see here. Thank you for the 22 months. Now that everyone's expecting AAA games coming out every single month. That's the expectation. I think with Nintendo, the expectation is every month we get something. Maybe it's not always AAA, but every month we get something. Okay, we got a Princess Peach Showtime here. Okay, we got a Rhythm Heaven here or Tomodachi Life. But then, oh, now we get a big game or we get like a Mario RPG, you know, Super Mario RPG remake. That's not a AAA game. That's like more of like a AA style game, right? It's just a remake. It's all, like I don't think they broke the bank making Mario RPG, right? So we get those AA games from Nintendo as well. We get a lot of those actually, but the brands are so strong that sometimes it doesn't feel that way. When I played Super Mario RPG Remake, I was so fulfilled and I was so like, oh my god, this game is great. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though it's clearly not like Mario Wonder, it's clearly not like Odyssey, it's not like that. But I was still fulfilled with the game. I thought it was great, you know? Like, so you get that same feeling with some of these different games. Let's see, next year will be Xbox's biggest year in a while. I mean, sure. I think we say that almost every year for Xbox. But the cancellations and all that is definitely not good. But we'll see how it goes. You know, we will see. Let's see here. It's all about weekly player counts. Yeah, weekly player counts and all sorts of stuff. So yeah. What I meant to say is that Nintendo didn't let Bandai keep working on Metroid Prime 4. Something that wasn't working. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I understand that exactly. Something that wasn't working. They stopped that, and then they said, "Hey, let's get it back to the people that know how to make the game." So yeah, absolutely. That's good leadership. So that's what you're trying to say. Like, that's good leadership right there. You know. Sony was doing that before closed Japan Studio. Yeah, Japan Studio being... and I didn't like the fact that they closed Japan Studio. I hated that. I think stopping day and date is the way it would generate at least the least negativity. Having Elder Scrolls 6 day and date on Xbox PC will be damaging literally millions. Dude, there's no easy way to get this done. No matter what, if you're CEO, Elias, you're screwed. If I'm CEO, I think somebody might just assassinate me if I did my plan. They'd probably just, you know, they'll have the pitchforks out around your house if you did your plan. My plan, I'd have to watch my back. I think I'm gonna get clapped somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I did what I said to do. It's a terrible plan, guys. It's a terrible plan. But what is a good plan is hitting that like button. So if you have not hit that like button yet, guys, hit that like button. Let them know that we're streaming out here, man. So yeah. What's up, Zombie Tech Pad? Welcome. I feel bad for Xbox YouTubers. Some of them imploded. Yeah, I'm seeing the meltdown. I'm seeing it. Like, I know Kid Smooth. I watch him, and yeah, he is not taking all this very good. I didn't watch the Xbox 2 podcast, so I didn't see what Jez had to say, and all that. But yeah, it is what it is, you know. Let's see here. Microsoft really does need to consider a leadership change with Xbox. Try someone new with the new vision and direction. Is it too late though, Cybertaurus? Like, I think it's too late. I think after you buy 5 billion or 55 billion or 100 billion or whatever they spent, I'm trying to act like it's a lot, but I actually think they actually spent like 100 billion. I'm trying to, 5 billion. No, it's way more than 5 billion. They spent like 100 billion on acquisitions. Like, I think after you spend 100 billion on acquisitions and what you have to show for it is 30 million in console sales, I think what actually happened is that Phil Spencer walked into the CEO's office, and as soon as he walked in, the Nadella guy or Nutella or whatever his name, he got him in the rock bottom, and he... So said, what are you doing? You Rudy Poo, you candy ass. You probably said, hey, you wanted to see me? You wanted to see me, boss? Got him in the rock bottom. Took off his money, took a bunch of money, slid $100 bills. What are you doing? Hit him with the money elbow. Hit him with the $1 billion elbow. Said, what are you doing, bro? I gave you $100 billion. And all you got to show for me is 15 Xbox Series sales, a bag of chips, and a busted ass demo of Perfect Dark. He probably started choking. That's all you got. Why didn't you do better than this? Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, that's what he did, bro. Probably said rock bottom. Oh, yeah. Oh, he said, all you got is 12 Xbox Series sales, busted demo of Perfect Dark. What's that one? Redfall? A crappy Redfall? What? Are you kidding me? I gave you $100 billion. That's all you got for me? He definitely got. He hit him with the rock bottom to people to corporate elbow. Hit him with the rock bottom to corporate elbow, man. Let's see here. You smell what the softest. I need to be smelling money, Phil Spencer, or I'm gonna come back and finish the job. Oh man. Everyone said these acquisitions would make them better. Activision Blizzard is getting worse every day. I mean, it depends, I guess. Depends. By the way, guys, I wasn't thinking about doing that. I just thought about it randomly off the top of my head. And obviously, I'm joking. The Microsoft CEO did not rock bottom Phil Spencer. Microsoft CEO did not rock bottom Phil. I mean, maybe he did rock bottom. Maybe he did rock bottom Phil Spencer. Cyber Taurus with the $5 dono.
Maybe Satya, Nutella, needs to just walk in, rock bottom everyone and say, okay, we have an amazing library of IPs. It's time to be just a strong publisher.
Oh, man. Yeah, maybe. I definitely think he probably hit him with something, bro. He hit him with something. Yo, shoutouts. Let's go. Combo breaks. 30 on the board. Yo, we are at the overclock 30-minute extension.
Overclock Buster!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. Thank you so much, Mr. Cybertaurus. Getting the extension to another 30 minutes. So we were over the hour. We got another 30 minutes, an hour 30 plus. Let's go. Shout outs. Thank you so much, Mr. Cybertaurus out here. 25 on the board as well. Anybody that's 25 or more, my man Cybertaurus on the board. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. Let's go. 10 to tie up or pass up Cybertaurus on the Stream Ninja board. Let's go. Argonaut says probably just drop kicked him instead. Nah, you gotta hit him with the finishing move. You gotta hit him with the finisher to let him know that he means business. A simple drop, unless it's the sweet chin music. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless it's like the Shawn Michaels sweet chin music, a regular drop kick, nah. Unless you hit him with that Goldberg concussion kick. Remember when Goldberg kicked Bret Hart and when Goldberg concussed and end the career of Bret Hart, concussed him in the match. Hit him with that Goldberg concussion kick. Yeah, a normal drop kick ain't gonna be enough when you come. If somebody listen, if I gave you $100 billion and you came back with 30 million in sales and a busted demo of Perfect Dark, I'm gonna kill you. Bro, I'm gonna end up on Forensic Files. I'm gonna end up on Forensic Files. $1 billion CEO. I'm gonna end up on Forensic Files if I give you $100 billion, and this is what you turn out for me. Like, I'm gonna be very angry. I swear something bad's gonna happen. If I was ever and I gave somebody $100 billion and this is what they gave back to me, dude. Like, that's not cool. Obviously, I'm joking, guys. Obviously, I'm joking. So yeah, more spear or choke slam. No, man, the rock bottom, bro. The rock bottom. You gotta hit him with style too. Spear and choke slam. Those are so. I mean, I guess the rock bottom. A lot of people have done it, but you gotta have some finesse. The rock bottom with the corporate elbow. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. You got to do that. Let's see. I put Phil in the firing squad, bro. I'm telling you, man. See, Destin's live right now doing his Microsoft propaganda to lessen how bad the layoffs were. Sony had layoffs. Microsoft had layoffs. Hopefully, we're past it. Sony didn't pull this insanity. Yeah, I mean, he's true. Microsoft or Sony did have layoffs. Yes. You know, and I think I said the same too. Like, hey, look, Sony also had layoffs too. But yeah, it's definitely not good. It's definitely not good at all. You know, definitely not good. Let's see. Hit him with the tombstone pile driver. Hit him with the pedigree. Time to play the game. Oh man, yeah. Hit him with the pedigree. I'll hit him with the double pedigree. Hit him with the double pedigree, bro. Hit him with the one pedigree. Get him back up. Hit him, or like the double Stone Cold Stunner. The Scott Hall Stone Cold Stunner. Remember when Scott Hall when Stone Cold kicked Scott Hall, hit him with one stunner. Scott Hall was like, hey, yo. He was just like all woozy. Then hit him with another one. Dude popped up into the air. Popped up like like he was on a trampoline. Just like, wait. Or hit him with one of them stunners that, like, when The Rock, remember when The Rock used to get Stone Cold Stun and The Rock would like do like a backflip? Like, would go like push himself up and be like, wow! Like Team Rocket flying off again or something? Yeah. Hit him with one of those. Let's see here. Let's see here. But it's all good. Sony has canceled games and closed studios in recent years too. Yeah, they have. The thing about it is that Sony's cancellation of games, it's like live service stuff. So with the exception of factions, I think that everyone's like, oh, you're canceling live service stuff? Good. You know what I'm saying? Like, Microsoft is canceling, oh, wow, a cool MMO from Bethesda. Oh, wow, a cool first-person shooter from the Doom creator. Oh, wow, a cool stealth action espionage first-person shooter with Perfect Dark. You know, like, those are, like, more devastating cancellations than, like, Concord 2. You know what I'm saying? Than, like, Concord 2 or, like, you know, Foam Stars or some type of weird, you know, live service game. So I think that's the biggest difference there. It's like they're canceling. People are good. You're like, who's the idiot that greenlight them? Oh, well, Jim Ryan. Okay, well, he's not there anymore, you know? So The Rock, oh yeah, The Rock, you got to oversell the finishers, man. You got to oversell the finishers. It makes it way more hype. It makes it way more hype. Let's see here. Nash Weedle tweeted that Pikmin 4 will get a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Ooh, that'd actually be a very good Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Or I think maybe that'd be a free update. Switch 2 edition, or I think that's probably like a free update, not a Switch 2 edition. Free update. Concord was definitely the right move by PlayStation to shut down. That was horrible, yeah. Like, but I still think that, like, that was probably one of the most embarrassing things to ever happen to Sony. To have a game like Concord launch, to spend that amount of money that they spent to buy that studio, and then to, you know, shut them down like that. But the biggest difference between Concord being shut down and, like, let's say the Initiative being shut down and Perfect Dark is that Concord actually launched and we saw and we're like, okay, no mas, you know what I'm saying, and live service. So we actually got a taste of the product. We did not even get a chance to taste the product of Perfect Dark before it got shut down and the Initiative got, like, you know, and everything got put away. So I think that's the biggest difference. And once again, live service versus a game that people actually want. I don't think anybody actually wanted Concord in terms of it. And, like, it's really sad because Concord has an actual really good shooting mechanics, and that could have been a banger first-person shooter if they decided to just make something different, right? Like, that could have been a great first-person shooter if they just decided to take that tech and make a different type of game. You know, or make an actual single-player content for Concord. If Concord had a single-player campaign that was like $8, the game would have probably never shut down, because then people would have actually probably decided that it was worth the $40. But you can't charge $40 for a free-to-play weirdo shooter, like a weirdo free-to-play. You can't charge $40 for that. But I mean, you can charge $40 for where you get your live service stuff, plus you get like a 10, 12-hour single-player campaign that has good shooting mechanics. Oh yeah, you can charge $40 for that. So I think if they would have actually had that, then it would have been a different scenario. But, you know, it wasn't. 9,000 laid off people. That's more people than Nintendo employees in Japan. It is. It is. Update on the SNES 30 controller from 8BitO. Reminds me of the SNES. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Yeah, I have a couple of those, so yeah, I'm aware of it. Pikmin 4 could get DLC like Kirby. Miyamoto loves Pikmin 4, and Kirby was over a year older. Ah, yeah, that's true. So maybe they, you know what? Now that I think about that, yeah, big DLC pack for it. Never mind. Maybe it is maybe that will get. Actually, that seems like a Kirby type of thing to get like a big. Yeah. You're right about that. Maybe I changed my mind. Maybe it does. Game Pass and live service games are destroying Xbox and PlayStation. Well, I mean, looks like PlayStation is pivoting off. We'll see what Microsoft does in this next round. Could have been a new template for exactly. Could have been a new template for a Killzone game. I promise you that those Firewalk developers could have made a Killzone game. That was at least halfway decent. Maybe like a 75-80 on Metacritic Killzone game. Absolutely, they could have made a halfway decent Killzone game. With that shooting tech, now, maybe I'm oversimplifying things, you know? But I think that if Guerrilla gave them some guidance and they were able to create something from there, I think they definitely could have made a halfway decent, you know, Killzone game. Or even a SOCOM US Navy SEALs. SOCOM US Navy SEALs, Killzone, Resistance. You know, since the other studios don't want to make those games, or Sony's not, you know, it could have been one of those three, you know. I don't think Game Pass is killing Microsoft. Microsoft is killing Microsoft. Yeah, I don't think Game Pass is killing Microsoft completely. I just think that it's definitely, they're in a pickle because of Game Pass and because of other things. You know, there's a lot of things. So, yeah. Yo, Cyber Taurus again with the Ninja Peach.
Cheap Sunday laugh in your DM. Nadella Nutella Noogie.
Teach me how to the doogie. Nutella, Flavella, Bavella. I gotta see this though, Cyber Taurus. Oh man, 39 on the board. Before I show you guys this nonsense. 39 on the board. Before I show you guys this nonsense. What happened to Sarah Bond? She went from, but she still looks like Daria. She still looks just like whenever Daria takes their glasses off, when Daria decides to go on like a date or something like that and put on contacts. Remember that episode she had contacts on because she wanted to look better. She felt like taking off her glasses would make her look better. That's definitely what happened right there. Oh man, yo, Mr. Nutella coming in. Mr. Nutella says, "This one, I'm gonna give you a Nutella noogie for you messing up. I gave you $100 billion and you came back with nothing. A busted demo of Perfect Dark. Man, that's crazy. Yo, shout out to Cyber Taurus. Yo, we going. 39 on the board. We can still get a 45-minute extension on stream. We are only 6 combos away from that. We usually only go for an hour on these extra streams, but we actually just hit an hour 30. So we can definitely extend that out to an hour 45 if we get 6 more combos. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate that. Looks like Satya and Phil. Yes, it's Nutella. We call him Nutella in these parts. We call him Nutella. SOCOM was so fun, bro. Rip to that IP. Yeah, I know. Rip to the IP. I mean, Killzone, apart from graphics, is mid anyway. I mean, I think Killzone would be better than Concord. Concord literally does not exist. Does anybody even know what a Concord is? Is mayonnaise is Concord an instrument? Is mayonnaise an instrument? Concord is a game that does not exist. Like literally, it's been Thanos snapped from the ethos. Like you can't even play it, right? You can boot it up, but you can't even play it. Nothing's there. Like it's gone. It's finished. Done. Bro, they launched that game. There was 17 people playing. There was 17 people playing. Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, Nutella didn't even play it. People, their own developers didn't even. Dude, bro, how do you launch a game and then you don't even play your own game to help the numbers? The development team didn't even play the game to help. They're like, nah, we good. We ain't even gonna play it. Bro, the development team's family didn't play the game like that. That's a pretty good sized team. Bro, nobody was even playing the game. Well, developers weren't even playing the game last year. Oh, man. Let's see here. What up? I'm very salty about Perfect Dark Situation. Yeah, it's not very good. Herman Hulst was so excited. Like I said, I already knew Herman. I already had a problem with Herman Hulst. that boomerang on his head. Yeah, I can't completely trust Herman Hulst when he says that a game is good anymore, because you can't have that hairline that he has, that boomerang, and then hype up Concord. You've lost my trust. It'd be like Miyamoto hyping up everybody 1-2 switch. It'd be like Miyamoto hyping up. I couldn't trust Miyamoto, although Miyamoto's had banger after banger after banger though. So I mean, I'd forgive him, but still, you know what I'm saying? I forgot who the developer was for 1-2 switch. I forgot who that was, but I don't trust him either. They don't even tell us who made everybody 1-2 switch. Nobody even knows. It's like, nobody's taking responsibility for that game. Hey, who made this game? I don't know. Well, it wasn't me. Nobody even taking responsibility for everybody 1-2 switch. Nobody made it. Nintendo did, like, who's the developer? Somebody. Hey, who made 1-2 switch here? Or who made everybody 1-2 switch? Somebody did. So yeah. 90 months and 4 days. Yo, let's go. Let's go. We don't know what Concord is, but we sure know what Marathon is. Shout outs to Marathon. Concord's a very fast airplane. The game took a name away from the craft. Well, there you go. I thought it was Concord like grape. I thought they got it from like grape jelly. You know what I'm saying? Like Concord grape jelly. You go get some nice, put yourself a nice peanut butter jelly Concord grape jelly sandwich. Legend has it that everywhere in their city, Concord grape jelly also disappeared when they shut down the game. So that you can also you can no longer buy Concord grape jelly. That's what I heard. I heard in their areas. 10 months away from full decade. Yo, 10 months away. That'll be early next year. That is crazy, Velvet. Imagine that. Early next year, 10 years. Oh my goodness. That is wild, Velvet. That is so wild. 10 years. Oh man. They named their game after the aircraft that was discontinued because it's unsustainable. Oh, the irony. No, they named it after grape jelly. It's kind of soft and, you know, it needs something else to work. You need something else to really make it work. Oh, let's see here. Guess we should order Welch's grape jelly instead. Yeah, you got to get the Welch's not at this point. You got to get the Welch's. I have the Jordan Concords. They don't make those anymore, do they? Anything with Concord is like cursed or doomed. Saw the whole Switch 2 emulator scam. PC. Just saw a whole Switch 2 emulator scam. Are PC people really that desperate to bring down the console industry? Yeah, once again, I don't really know about all that type of stuff, so either way, most people are going to play their games on the Switch 2, the actual system itself, so. Shout outs to Creosenbaum with the 44, line him up, 34 months, let's go. Thank you so much, Mr. Creosenbaum. Says, hey, OJ, I have an idea to make Xbox better. Hire Dan Campbell from the Lions. If he can turn around my favorite team, I'm sure he can do the same there. You know what? Dan Campbell might be a good pick. That might be a good pick there, man. Dan Campbell coming through. Dan Campbell coming through. Let's go. OJ, it looks like the Blue Ocean Satoru Iwata came up after all these years. Has worked to perfection. Absolutely. I think it's worked to a degree. Certain lines and degree of perfection. Absolutely. Man, the Jordan Concords were so big back in the day. They really were big back in the day, man. They really were. I could never afford Jordans. Back in the day, I wanted them, but I could never afford a pair of Jordans. Like, never. Like in the 80s and the 90s and even in the 2000s. Even into the early 2010s, I probably couldn't afford a pair. No, by 2010 I think I could, but I didn't start wearing them until I just buy Jordan 1s. I don't buy anything else with Jordan 1s. I didn't start wearing them till like, what was it? I think my first pair was 2019 or 2020. I forgot exactly when my first pair was. I think it was 2019. I got like some powder blue, like white powder blue and like black ones, like kind of like UNC ones. We had the shoe man in our hood back in the day. I saw lots of other people wear Jordans, and I was very envious of them wearing Jordans because I wanted a pair. But yeah, my mom or my dad, they never bought me a pair of Jordans. They never got me a pair, which is okay. Like, I didn't listen. I'm not upset that they didn't buy me a pair of Jordans. Like they were expensive, man. They were expensive. Let's hear George FT with the $10 JoJo. Yo, shout outs to the JoJo boys. 49 on the board. Yes, sir. We out here. Let's go. Thank you so much, Mr. George FT says, Koichi Kawamoto was the producer of 1-2 Switch, various touch generation games such as Brain Age, Labo, Ring Fit, Switch Sports, and the producer of Switch 2. Basically, he does experimental games. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know. Well, here's the thing. I did know that there was people that guy, and I know what guy you're talking about because I remember he came out for 1-2 Switch. So yeah, he's a smart individual. That guy he's a brainster. You know what I'm saying? He's a brainiac. But yes, good. He's a good developer. He's a good developer. It is what it is. I don't even know what to say. What happened with that? Yeah, you know, it is what it is. I don't know what happened. Everybody went to Switch. They were just having problems with that game. You know, they were just having problems. Yo, let's go though. Combo breaks in the house. Let's go. Overclock. 45-minute extension.
Overclock Buster!
Yes, sir. Iwata had that Monado and saw the state of the gaming industry 20 years later. Yeah. Well, he saw the state of the gaming industry even back then, you know, with the Wii. So, yeah. Never had a pair one of these days when my midlife crisis kicks in. I would just say this, man. If you're old school like me, you want a pair, don't go with the newer ones that are like $200, $300. Those are too expensive. Go on the Nike site and then just look for like the Air Jordan ones, just the discounted ones. They're like $80, sometimes $70, $80. They're way more affordable than going and spending like, you know, $100 something, $200. I would never spend that much on shoes. So yeah, just go do that. That's what I do. I just look for the Jordans on sale or just like the base price Air Jordan ones, which to me, Air Jordan ones look the best. Those are the original Michael Jordan shoes that he wore when he first debuted. They're classic. You can dress up or dress down with them. They're fantastic. So I don't think there's really any need to buy. For me, my style is only Air Jordan 1. I don't need to buy anything else. And I'm thankful because those are the cheapest. Those are usually the cheapest. Those are the cheapest Air Jordans, if I'm not correct. Like, those are the cheapest ones. So I'm okay with that. But I don't really buy them. I mean, I'll buy one pair maybe every 2 years or something like that, or a year and a half. I'll buy a pair. So yeah, I got a few, but not too many. Let's see here. I have the Nike app. I'd actually. You have the Nike app? Yeah, just look there. If there's no sales or discounts or anything, then just skip it. But yeah, sometimes they got some pairs. Like, I was able to get like a pair of they're like black, purple, and like a little bit of yellow. I was able to get those for like $62. They were like on super, like nobody bought them, and obviously they were kind of a weird color. But I was like, I'll check it out. And I've only worn them a few times, but it's still nice to get a nice pair of shoes for decent price. Yeah, can't go wrong with the retro Air Jordan 1s, man. Can't go wrong with those. He was certainly right about the mobile game industry becoming garbage. Well, I mean, it is what it is on that one. I don't forgive Dan Campbell for choking up against OJ's 49ers' worst choke in NFL history. That was not the worst choke of NFL history. It was not. The worst choke in NFL history is the Seattle Seahawks versus the Patriots. I think it was 27. Was it 20? What year was that? 2015? Was it 2015 or 2014? That was the worst choke in the history of the NFL. Was the Seattle Seahawks had literally a back-to-back Super Bowl, had another Super Bowl in the bag. They had it. It was there. All they had to do was run the ball with the biggest, baddest running back in the league at the time, Marshawn Lynch, and they win the Super Bowl. And they threw the ball, and it got picked off literally on like the 1 yard line. That's the biggest choke ever in the history of the Super Bowl, in the history of the NFL, is that. Now, if you're talking about points choke, the Falcons versus the Patriots, that was the biggest choke. That was the biggest choke of all time. 28-3. It's like the third quarter or whatever, and then you also lose that. But hey, look, there was clearly enough time. To me, a worse choke is that Super Bowl Seahawks versus Patriots. That's the worst ever play, the worst choke in the history of the NFL. In the history was that play. You're on the 1 yard line. You have a beast at running back. His nickname, for those who don't watch NFL, here's the line. Here's you All you have to do, and you have a 6 foot, 230-pound wrecking ball at running back. Marshawn Lynch. Literally, his name is Beast Mode. His name is Beast Mode. He had one run where he literally broke every tackle on the opposing team one year. I think it was the Saints or something. He broke every everybody tried to tackle. Nobody can tackle this guy. And you're right there at the 1 yard line. All you got to do is just run the ball in and you win the game. And they decided to pass it and it gets picked off on the goal line. It's insane. That is the worst choke. That's the worst. There's nothing more bad than that. That was the worst. Yes, the Lions choke was bad. That was bad, but there was still time to come back. There was still plenty of time. That game, it's not over till it's over. That game was literally over, and they completely choked, like completely brain farted choked, you know? Completely. Best NBA teams, the two teams that were in the finals, the Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder won the championship, though. I heard Marshawn Lynch laughed at Pete Carroll's face after the decision. He did. He did. He just laughed and was like, you idiot. You know? The 2012 Super Bowl was a mega choke, too. The 2012 Super Bowl? 2012. Was the Niners in that Super Bowl? I mean, the Ravens still won that Super Bowl, though. Let's see here. Yeah, I remember the Seattle Seahawks choke. That was bad. Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks was the worst. There's nothing worse than the Seattle Seahawks choke. That was the worst. You know? That was literally right there, Brady on the goal line. You know? Wimbledon TV? Yeah, of course we get Wimbledon. Absolutely. They wanted Russell Wilson to be MVP. I agree. They wanted Russell Wilson to be MVP. So if you get him another touchdown throw, he was going to be MVP of the game. So they wanted him to be MVP. I agree. But why don't you just give him a bootleg? If you want him to be MVP, just give him a fake handoff to Marshawn Lynch, then a bootleg. That touchdown still counts. So I don't understand why they didn't just do that. And he can scramble. So man, I don't even know. I can't explain how bad of a call that is. Let's see here. Yeah, the 49ers choking in terms of the Super Bowl. Yeah, but they were down big. They were down big, and then they came back, but then they still choked. But it still wasn't as bad as that play. Like, it still wasn't as bad as the Seahawks. That was the worst play that I've ever seen in my life. Like, that was the worst call ever. That was the biggest choke. I used to support the Seattle Mariners, but I don't really watch baseball anymore. I haven't watched baseball, like, I haven't watched the Seattle Mariners baseball game in, like, probably, like, more than a decade. I think it's been decades since I've watched the Seattle Mariners baseball game. The last time was, I think, 2001 or 2002. Like, I had a temper issue with the Seahawks losing, or with the Mariners losing to the Yankees that year that they won, like, 100, like, they won, like, 114 games. Like, they set, like, a record, like, with Ichiro. And, like, I had a little mini meltdown when they lost. So, I was told to stop watching baseball. I had a little mini meltdown at school. So yeah. Let's see, what MLB team do... I already read that, my bad. My Panthers choked twice at the Super Bowl. Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty angry. I was pretty angry that they lost. I thought they were going to win. I thought they were going to win the World Series that year. I was positive they were going to win the World Series that year. Panthers... Yeah, the Panthers... I don't think the Panthers necessarily choked. You know, that wasn't like a super choke. Like both times that they were in the Super Bowl, like against, I think it was against, who was it? One time against the Patriots, right? 1 year against the Patriots, 1 year, and then 1 year against the Broncos. I don't think it was a super choke either. I watched both of those Super Bowls. I don't think it was that. 49ers have choked three bowls in a row. The last one that they lost, it was like kind of a choke. Then it kind of like wasn't. It was like a choke. It was like a coughing, but it wasn't like a super choke. But it was just like a coughing. It was just like, you know. But it was also like supernatural because it's like Dre Greenlaw just randomly gets hurt. His ACL just snaps to pieces when he's not even doing. He's just getting warmed up on the sideline, like bouncing around a little bit, and his ACL snaps to smithereens. Like that's just bad luck, you know. That's just terrible luck. So yeah. So it was like a cough, like coughing a lot, but it wasn't like a choke. It wasn't like it was a choke, but it wasn't a super choke, you know. Well, I wouldn't even say it was like a choke, but they did choke though. The fumble, that who was that McDonald guy, whatever his name is, that the dude with the dreads, tried to pick up the ball instead of just leaving it, and then it touched it, and like when they had all the momentum, yeah, that was that was choking. That choke, special teams choke. Jake Delhomme outplayed Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Brady just had the ball last year. Sometimes it works that way. Same thing happened with Brady against the Rams. Didn't he just have like the ball last like in like playoffs or whatever, or in like the overtime? So just happens. Yo, EMB, thank you for the subscription, man. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Elite Ninja Village. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Atlanta Hawks is the worst franchise in the NBA. Just I don't know if they're the worst franchise, but they're definitely not one of the best franchises. That's for sure. Is football a bit bigger in the U.S. now than in the past years? Football gets bigger every year. They always break the previous year's record. So yeah, football is like the most popular sport here in the U.S. by a country mile. Obviously, nowhere near when it comes to worldwide soccer, cricket. There's other sports that are more popular, but in terms of here in the U.S., football is by far like it's like football, American football. Then it's like everything else. Like there's like a big gap. And then you can say like maybe like NBA, or you can say like maybe baseball. I mean MMA. You got to put MMA somewhere there. MMA is a little weird how MMA works, but MMA is somewhere in there. But there is a sizable chunk between NFL and anybody else. So huge big gap. Yeah, that seems about right. But you should put some spaces in between the NFL and the NBA to really... There is a large gap between the popularity of the NFL and the NBA. Like a large gap. Let's see here. It's DB Cooper in the chat. Always like the Compton in the streams. Yo, did they ever catch you, man? Are you still alive? Do you use gaming monitor currently in the market for one? Needing some suggestions? Thanks. Yes, I use an MSI... It's a really good monitor. Now, are you using it with Switch 2 or using it with what do you use, like with Xbox and PlayStation? Like, let me know what you're using it with first. But yeah, I use a really nice monitor. I'll show you the monitor that it is. I like it a lot, but yeah, it is kind of pricey. But I do like the monitor a lot. It's an MSI MPG 272 URXQ OLED 27-inch 4K monitor. So that's the monitor that I use. It's a good monitor. I'll put the link for you guys, or I'll put the link for you if you want to check it out. But yeah, it's a good monitor. Might want to wait. Actually, no, I can't put the link. But just type in MSI monitor, and you'll see it. 27-inch 4K monitor, you'll see it. I can't put it because the link's too long, but yeah. That's the monitor that I use. I bought it back on May 30th. So I got it around, yeah, I got it in June. And yeah, I've been loving it ever since then. It's really good for Switch 2. It's really good for pretty much everything. It's really good for my editing. I like it a lot. You mean you mean football, not football, not our American football, but you mean football. MLS is somewhere below NBA. It's below. It's probably like, I don't know. I think MLS is even below NHL here in the U.S. In terms of popularity. It's definitely lower on the scale. Let's see here. NFL is bigger than NBA, MLB, NHL in the U.S. combined. Yeah, that's why I said there needs to be a sizable gap between the NFL and the next closest in terms of popularity. So yeah. Switch 2 for now. Oh yeah, you're gonna love this monitor. It's got everything that you need for the Switch 2 in terms of the HDR. It's 240 hertz, so you're gonna have, like, if you want to play Metroid Prime on there. It's got it's OLED, so it looks super nice. Oh man, it's nice thin borders on there, really thin, small, lightweight TV. It's really nice, man. It is a super nice monitor. I like it a lot. So yeah, if you're using it for Switch 2, this is probably the best monitor for Switch 2 right here that I'm using. Well, football, not football. Football. You play with your foot. You know what? Oh my goodness. It makes so much sense. You know, it makes so much sense that they call it football because you play it with your foot. Wow. You guys are really smart. People that made that name up, man, you guys are smart. I mean, it only makes sense. It only makes sense that since you play with your feet, it's called football. Wow. Maybe they should have called, instead of baseball, they should have called it bat ball. It's like, you know, or more like arm ball, because like you're just swinging, you know. I mean, I guess there's bases, so baseball. I mean, you're swinging, and you're catching, so maybe they just call that swing arm ball. I don't know. You know. Why is it called tennis? Maybe it shouldn't be called tennis. It should be called arm swing racket, bicep ball, rotator ball, rotator cuff ball. Oh man. Let's see. Wait, football is played with the feet? I didn't know. Yo, it is what it is. Happens. It happens. So it could have been England since you run with the egg. Let's see. It could have been called egg hand since you run with the egg, an egg in your hand. That's a big egg. That's a really big egg. You also kick the ball too. I know you guys aren't really well aware of that or don't care, but you also kick the ball. The game starts off with a kick. So I guess it's partial hand ball because you also kick the ball too. Onside kick, punting, kick, field goal kicking. Those are all done with your feet. But you know, hey, details, minor details. Who cares about that? You know, minor details. Oh man. Handball, since you use your hands to catch the ball. Wow, that's fascinating. Tell me more. Yeah, no, call it handball. There already is something called handball. Call it handball too. Call it hand egg ball. That is the go-to thing with you people from not from the US. Just call it egg. Say egg and hand. And then when we tell you that you kick the ball too, it's like you malfunction because you don't kick enough. Like everybody that I know that makes that same joke. If you tell them that you kick the ball too, it's like they just they glitch out. They glitch out. So yeah, man. We just have a soccer account here. We're just gonna go ahead and ban him real quick. Ken says you can don't forget you can hit the ball with your head in soccer. Call it head ball. By the way, the goalie can actually carry the ball with his hands. So the goalie's playing a very different game than all of you guys are because he can grab the ball with his hands. So it's handball for him. I just, you know, it's handball for him. So he should probably have a different name. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, man. Let's see. How about a game? Slap the puck. Hockey puck. You know, you know what the funny thing about it is that, believe it or not, an American didn't necessarily make the name for football. Or no, sorry, for football here in America. Or no, sorry, soccer. I think that came from somebody from like, that was British or something. I don't think that was like a native, you know, real, I think that was definitely something from somewhere else. Might have been one of the colonial days or something like that, you know, and they were just the settlers. They did it. I don't think it was an actual, like, you know, American that made up the name soccer, at least. English did. There you go. The English did. So blame them. You know, it's their fault that they gave the names, that we have the name soccer. Let's see here. The one sport I'll never understand is curling. Yeah, I don't know, man. You're just sitting there and scraping some ice until thing stops. That just sounds like work, bro. This looks like I'm going to clock in. Like, yo. Like I'm an Eskimo simulator or something. I'm not really sure. Not really sure what that game is about, bro. Yeah, I'm good. I can't watch it. I can't really watch it like that. I can watch highlights, but I can't be watching it like normal and all that. So yeah. So you can't trust people who eat beans and toast in the morning, call it gastronomy. Yeah, I do see the beans and toast brigade. The beans and toast brigade is definitely interesting. But I mean, hey, look, man, it is what it is. You know, sometimes you got to have some beans and toast. Like if the beans are pretty good, my wife would probably agree with like the beans and toast. You know, my wife would probably agree with that. She likes beans. She makes a lot of really, high quality food with beans, so yeah. Did you see the founder of Arcane Studio said that Game Pass, he called the damage and unsustainable? Yeah, we talked about that already. We actually had a pretty big segment on that, Lupak. So yeah. Hardwood ball. Okay, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. Darts is popular British pub thing. Not many pubs have them sadly anymore. You know what the funny thing is, or not the funny thing, but you know what the interesting thing was? Like when I was growing up, darts was actually like it was like a kid's game. Obviously, darts people do it like normally, but there was a lot of people that played darts and thought the game was like I played all the time. It was fun. Like dude, they'd sell toys with darts and like it lights up and all that. So I actually played darts a lot when I was younger. When I was a kid and teens. I think I kind of stopped once I got into my 20s and stuff, but I played a ton of darts. Now, not like, we didn't always play like on the official dart boards, but we played like the toy darts and stuff. And I've played darts before, like the regular darts. I've actually played that quite a bit. Darts and pool. I'd play pool and I'd play darts quite a bit. And I suck at both of them. I'm actually really bad at pool and darts. So, yeah, the Velcro ones, yeah. But I'm terrible at pool, but I used to play it all the time when I was like in my preteens. I used to go to my friend's house and I used to play. They had a pool table, they had a dartboard in their garage, and I used to shoot pool and all the darts all the time in the summer. I think subscriptions will only make sense for indie games when you might actually have some time to play through. I mean, indie games. I think we'll see what happens with the subscription. What Microsoft does with their subscription service. We'll definitely see what happens. So yeah, the magnet ones always ended up popping out for someone. Yeah. We actually had lots of pool tables here in the pubs, which I think American thing really. Snooker is the English one. Yeah. I don't really go to pubs, so I don't really see them, or I don't really see pool tables as much because I don't really go to pubs. I do one of these days want to have a house big enough or like a place like where I can have like a real game room where I have like a pool table, arcade, video games. Like I want to have one that's big enough like to just hold all that stuff, So one of these days I will. In the next 10 years probably. I'll probably move into like I'll build my own house or something like that, or I'll try to see what I can, like get a deal on a contracted house and like buy some land. And I'll build a house and I'll make my real game room, and I'm gonna put a pool table in there and all of that. So yeah. Ping pong, yeah. My friend Turtle, I used to always play ping pong because he had a ping pong table. So that was in my teenage years. He had a ping pong table in they had like a second living room that was like a pretty good size. It was kind of thin, but it was a pretty good size living. They had a good size house. It was upstairs, downstairs. You walk right in. There was a kitchen right there, and then it was like to the left there was like a nice little loft area. And then to the right, there was like another living room, and then upstairs they had one big room downstairs, and they had 3 rooms upstairs. It's a nice house. And I remember we used to always play ping pong in the left side, like the little loft area. It had like the nice TV. You can like play video games, like you can do whatever. So it was cool, man. It was a lot of fun. Play N64 there and stuff. So yeah. I think I think a try before you buy method can work with Tech Game Pass with the publisher. Set hours, players can try out the game. If they like it, they can buy it. Oh, so maybe you get like if you subscribe to Game Pass, that's what the new Game Pass is. The new Game Pass is like, okay, is that what you're trying to say? Like, okay, the new Game Pass is you can try this for this many hours, but if you don't subscribe to Game Pass, you don't have that. That's interesting. Is that what you're talking about or no? Yo, that seems like an interesting idea. I don't think that's necessarily like a terrible idea overall, you know? I don't think it's necessarily a terrible idea. So yeah. Remember, guys, we've actually hit our limit, what we were supposed to go today, but I went over because you guys are goated. We still got a 49 combo, so I appreciate that. So we did go over a little bit, but I do want to say, before we go for this stream, make sure you guys check out my most recent video. If you have not watched my most recent video, watch my most recent video talking about the Switch 2 set to do the impossible. Watch that video if you haven't seen it yet. I think the video is fantastic, so go watch the video. I think it's a good video. So yeah, good stuff. So what do you guys think, man? What do you guys think? We're gonna have another stream probably tomorrow. We're gonna have another stream, so we're gonna be right back on track tomorrow. So look out for that, and that's gonna be fun too. So we'll see what happens, and we'll talk more about the Nintendo Direct rumors and things like that. So we'll discuss all that. I'll probably have a video too, talking about the newest Nintendo Direct rumors and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll probably have a rumor when it comes down to that. So all right, there's the link. When it comes down to it, that's the worst ideas we proposed. That's the worst. I don't think that's that bad of an idea. Like, you have like a little trial period, overall, and like, hey, look, you can try it out. If you don't have that subscription, then you don't have it. Some games maybe you have it to where it's like that, but the bigger games maybe it's just a trial, So I don't know. I think that could maybe work. That could maybe work. If it's done correctly. If it's done correctly. All right, let's see here. I'll be on the road tomorrow, so I'll listen to the stream while I'm driving. Nice, Cyber Taurus. It's all good, man. Thank you guys so much for coming out to tonight's stream. We actually had a really good viewership for a random Sunday, after 4th of July. So thank you guys so much for coming out to today's stream. I told you guys that I'd stream on Sunday. I got it done, so I'm very happy with myself. Thank you guys for the support as well. You guys are goated, like always. Very cool to see so many people come through to the stream and support the stream as well. Big love to Cyber Taurus, man. He pretty much carried it overall. Big love to everybody else that dropped donos too. George FT, Creosenbaum with the months. Appreciate that, man. Chris with the 22 months. John Morales, thank you so much. Shinru as well. DeAndre, all dropping donos. So I appreciate that, guys. But all right, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for being awesome. Combo breaks to everyone. And we will see you guys for tomorrow's video and for tomorrow's stream. But check out like I said, that is the most recent video. Go watch it. We have 200 people here. You guys should all go watch the video. If you've already seen it, watch it again. I think it's dope. So I think it's a great video. So check it out again, man. If you haven't seen it yet. So all right, love you guys so much. You guys are the GOATs, the greatest. And we'll see you guys for the next one. All right, peace out, homies.